I'm looking for someone for our lives to come together. We can both benefit each other. Like I say, we're not young people anymore, so we're not working on dreams. Now we both have some kind of groundwork laid out, so it should be a lot easier. But when they start talking, my family means everything, and then I like it. Okay, like for me, what you're saying is, for me, my family don't mean shit. I mean, why would you think that my family doesn't mean everything to me too? And let's say my family is everything to me. Let's say my kids, I lost my wife, so now my kids mean everything to me. So my kid says, Dad, I want you to go do this, and I'm going to say, well, it's my new wife's birthday. And they're going to say, well, no, this needs to be done, so it's just hell with her birthday. And I'll say, okay, then I will, because you mean everything to me. It's so ridiculous. You know what I mean? And what kind of man, I'm wondering, what kind of man would be attracted to a woman that already tells him that I want you in my life, but you're only going to be second rate? Kind of like an old dog. And then, so now you're going to get in a relationship with someone where you're going to be in the back seat for anything that her family or her kids want. You got to just be understanding. No, you're not being understanding. You're a chump. Okay, I realize better than 90% of these gals on Match.com, they all say the same thing. Well, family means everything. Well, go to your family. Another thing is, well, my dog is my best friend. Okay. Now, what do you want me for? Your dog is your best friend? I'm not going to share a bed with you and your damn dog. My wife, I trusted my wife. She was my best friend. She told me that women are smart, smarter than men. I think in her experience, now you got to remember, she was a homebody. We were opposites. I'm gone, I'm out, I'm looking, I'm all the time seeing all kinds of new things. She doesn't, but she does read a lot. So I don't know. She got the wrong idea about women, because my experience right now has been these women that have chased their men off, and they're using the same tactics that they use to chase their men off to find another man. No, it's not going to work. So now I understand why these women get comfortable without a man. Like I say, their children mean everything to them. Their dog or cat or whatever is their best friend. I guess they're not looking for somebody like me. I don't quite understand what these women are thinking about when they come up with these real cool statements. Another statement that really made me feel real manly, the statement that made me feel like I'm her one and only, she had another statement she came up with. And what happened, we were in the oil business. I was in my early 30s. I was making a ton of money. And this was back when I believed in property. And so we bought this really nice house. I mean, we bought a starter home, and then we kind of worked our way up to this really nice house. And one morning I came in, and it was about maybe 2:30 in the morning. I came in to the back door, and the back door was where the kitchen was, by the garage. And I came in through there, and I started making me something to eat. And she, of course, she woke up, she heard me, and she come out. And I say I'm in the oil world. And so my boots were a little oily, a little dirty. And so the floor was a little bit dirty. Not big old tracks you can see. No, it wasn't nothing like that. But it was dirty. And so she comes up, she walks in there, and then she says, she pointed down on the floor there, and she says, "The next time you come into my house, take your dirty boots off." I don't know, does that make as much sense to you as I tell you this as it did to me at 2 in the morning? First, drilling oil wells, it takes time, and you're there all the time, so it's 24-hour work. You might catch some cat naps in your pickup and this type of stuff, but you have to be out in the field. Whatever the weather is, you're going to have to be out there all the time. And so me being there at 2 in the morning, I was hungry. I was taking a break. I had to go back out. I don't know how long I've been out already, but I ran out of food, so I had to come in. And telling me about her house did not do well for me. What she was telling me is that house is more important than me. Now, after she said that, she was thoughtful. And I understand the timing was just wrong, just waking her up like that and all that. And she didn't realize I was just taking a break. She didn't realize I still had many more days of work. So, she felt bad. There's been times kids would be in school and I don't see them. And I would kneel next to the bed when the kids were sleeping. And I'd talk to them, tell them how much I love them and I miss them. I'm doing my obligation, working hard, trying to make a life for my family. Why? Because my family means everything to me. I might not go around bragging and telling everybody that. Why is that? Because I'm out in the oil field. There's nobody there to listen to me. I'm working. I work in all kinds of weather, doing all kinds of work. Do I do this for me? Am I the one that's going to benefit from all this? No. It's my obligation as a man. It's my obligation as a good husband and father. I'm not a workaholic. But especially when you own your own business, sometimes when you're building this business, it takes time. You have to commit. That's why a lot of people don't own their own business. They don't want to commit that much time. They love their family so much. And that's okay. We all have our own ways of doing it. But we shouldn't hurt each other using those words. Women just don't realize. They don't see men as being sensitive. They don't realize that a good man, in my opinion, a good man feels as if he's got the weight of the whole world on his shoulders. He's responsible for himself. He's responsible for his wife. He's responsible for his children. He's responsible for his own parents. He's responsible for his wife's parents. But then again, in the Chinese culture, family is everything. Already you'll hear me talk about how I don't like the government. There's no government I like. It gets big. It gets corrupt. It gets to the point where the government thinks they can tell you what to do. I like it small. I love family units. Family units is the best. The United States was formed on the family unit. Next, it was militias coming together, families coming together to get things done. Because our family units have been destroyed through government intrusion, through the advertising, dumbing down the population. The males don't know how to be men. The females are romantics. They don't understand reality. That's why I came up with the 3-man militia. There's 2 or 3 other people that you can trust and believe in. Because the bigger the organization gets, the more corrupt it is. It doesn't make any difference if it's government, financial, the banking systems. As the banks get bigger, the more corrupt they get. You even see it religious. The bigger the church gets, the more corrupt, or the more they open themselves up for corruption. But the man's responsibility in the house is a big responsibility. And sometimes the man has to Man up. Get real manly. I'm not saying you got to beat everybody. That's not it. But you do have to do the thinking. Like I say, I'm more than 20 years older than my kids. In 20 years, I've learned a lot more. Even now, I like their input. I like to hear what they have to say. But the reality is, I still got more than a 20-year stretch on them. The man has got a lot of things he's thinking on. A good man takes responsibility for that. But he can only do it when he gets cooperation from others. And getting ridiculed and being put down by statements that you don't think is much, but for the man, it does chip down on him. It takes pieces of him out. I missed a lot when our kids were growing. So I was working. But that's reality. You hear me talk about we all have crosses to bear. That's why I don't care about your hardships. I don't care about whatever excuses you have. We all have problems. We all have crosses to bear. Just do what you have to do. And it's easier when the husband and wife have good communications. And it took time. But we learned we didn't want to hurt each other. But we also learned we do hurt each other. Not intentionally, but we do hurt each other. And we have to correct those hurts. And it's easier when it's people that you think of, you have a good relationship with. Even my own friends, I'll say things that hurt their feelings. But it's easier to fix it when they're friends than when you're, I say, my wife, my lover, and my friend. We can do anything. But first, we have to deal with reality. And the reality is, we're going to hurt each other, not on purpose. And we need to say something. When we are hurt, we need to say something and let them know we were hurt, because we might have misunderstood. But anyway, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com.